I commend you for that aspect of it.
Thank
But
you.
let me go back real quick. You're welcome. Um, Let me go back real quick when you started. What made you get into music? I know you talked about the Nextel. I know you was talking about the ringtones and how that. But how did it? Can you give me more of a lead up as to how it led up to you doing music production? And you said you directed videos too. Did you
Yeah, so
do that?
I think I was basically as on a grind, and I figured out something that can make money. So it started making money, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I always like the music, you know. So I figured that hey, why not? This is something that makes money, so you know what I mean. I'm about to just tap into it and see where it goes, you know. So that's where kind of that go. That's how that kind of went.
Okay, and so do you still do music? Do you still do it from time to time?
So now, I'm just basically doing music now, but it's like they got this new AI stuff where you can like create music where on a whole nother level and still have type of creativity to it. And I'm tapping into that lane now, you know,
Mhm.
so yeah, I'm still doing not still doing music like I used to do it, but I'm learning how to do music so I can just score my own movies with it, the songs and stuff that I create
Yes.
new home music for, you know.
Well, that's a good idea too. And so now can you get more into how you became this filmmaker? How did it start for you? Can you give us the cliff notes of how it started with you? Just I know you from the camera, from your learning from the how to use the camera from your uncle and the music production, and then you went into filming videos, and then you went into did you write scripts? Do you write your scripts as well?
The movie Blood Ties, I written that. That's my movie. I written that. What happened was like I said, I started so like in 2000 early 2010 15 like around that time I started doing like I opened up my own studio, so I started doing weddings. I started taking pictures,
Oh,
I
okay.
started doing photography, and I started taking pictures, and I became like I learned it, mastered it, and I opened up a studio, and then I just started people started hiring me to do their weddings, which is like all right, if you could do, not saying you can't, but like I started doing professionally photography and videography, and I was getting hired like crazy. So that really was like I learned that, and then it was like on. So once I started doing film, like people, I used to be filming people weddings, and they would pay me a lot of money, and I'm like, oh, I must be good, you know. So that kind of like sparked me, like, all right, boom, I'm doing movies. I'm not moving. I'm doing wedding videos and photography, and then I had got married in 2017, and then
Oh,
I had wrote this script, not really a script. I had a vision of this show called Cold Summer. I don't know if you ever did your background on my. That's one of my biggest series. I did a show called Cold Summer, and I had got married in August, and I had did a casting call like September, like, and I just hit the ground running. Like October, I'm already starting to film, and I started filming this series. It did the first episode did something crazy on YouTube. It went viral. Everybody was talking about it, and it just did something to me. So I just started just shooting episodes every week, just doing episodes, and I ended up winning like best director at the Urban Film Festival. I won best visual.
wow.
It was just crazy. So that really was like, all right, you really doing your thing. People like what you're doing. So I end up just started doing it more. And like I started just people started reaching out, hey, I want you to film a movie for me or whatever the case might be. And I started reaching out, meeting people from different parts of this United States that wanted me to film movies and stuff like that. So it just it was just on from there. And then I just started filming movies. So my Cold Summer was like my first initial project that really put me on the map to like basically showcase my work, and it went crazy.
Wow, and I think that's amazing. And so when you tap into that, so because I know like when you start to like level up in that way, like because I always been curious about this, like how would you compare marketing your work, at that time because we didn't like you didn't have as much access to social media and
At what, at which
which
time?
is the time that you started out,
I
like the
mean, like
time
I started doing like so like social media. I started doing like I
it
said,
wasn't as I don't it wasn't as popping, I should say. So I just want to know like what are some of your marketing tools that you use, like marketing strategies,
I really
because mm,
I really didn't honestly like and I think that might have been like where I got blessed at because I think my work show for speak for itself. That I honestly not even gonna lie, I never really did too much of a marketing of anything. I honestly just I'm one of those people that just I plant a seed and just let it grow and see what happens. I'm not a person. I didn't really do too much of paying or giving somebody money for marketing, billboard, or none of that. I just did something great. People found it, watched it, and they spread the word. And I think that's what made me be who I am, because I really do too much marketing. Like, I just literally just put my stuff on a platform. Hey, watch this, and people liked it, and then it just went how it went.
Okay, so and because I think that's usually what you know. I mean, you kind of, kind of cover what I meant, as far as word of mouth goes, because that's you know
Yeah,
marketing strategy at that time. Because like I said before, social media was really popping. Because nowadays you can't really do any type of marketing on brands without social media. There's no way around it. I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, that there's no way around it now. But I just wanted to kind of give you, wanted you to give me a brief comparison to how you pushed your work then versus now, where you're able to have more of a mass audience, mass appeal.
I
You
mean,
know.
I do the same way. Like, honestly, the movie Blood Ties, I did the same thing. I literally put it out and just posted it, and people liked it, people shared it, and it just did really well. I think I want to start looking into marketing, because I think I'll probably be even more crazier. But
Hmm.
honestly, I think word of mouth got me where I'm at today.
Yeah, but I think that you should consider that as well, because I think that you need to have. Is that the one with having a strong backing behind you? You got to have, especially as an independent artist. You have to have something behind you, a machine behind you, so to speak. I
Yeah.
mean, like, well, Tubi is a machine. And I'm always wanted to know too. How do you get your work on Tubi?
So on Tubi, you have to find a distributor. So you
Okay.
have to find, it's basically finding somebody that's going to basically communicate to these networks for you, because they're not going to talk to the filmmakers at all. So if you don't have like the person that's already connected with them in some type of way of a situation, then it's like I don't know no other way. You can't. They're not even going to respond to you. So you have to find a person that's going to be the middleman to your project, and then it gets it on TV or whatever platform, Tubi, Amazon, Peacock, Roku.
Hmm.
So you just need someone to speak for you. Yeah.
And who is that for you? And how does one acquire about a distributor?
I tell you like this: make sure whoever you require about, just make sure you do some research first. Because I had a distributor that wasn't a great distributor, and like I said, it's a middleman. So basically, you're basically having someone take your project
Promoter.
and
Mhm.
take you putting your trust in them, that everything comes out good. So it's always, I mean, if you can do it yourself and you can pull it off, hey, salute to you. But just hopefully, like, trying to get a distributor or whatever, just try to learn that person first before you even go about trying to get it on TV and trying to make money, because these people is not 100% honest, I tell you that. And I've been through
Gotcha.
all types of loops and stages with different distributors, and yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so just learned from what Daddy Love is saying is that if you want to get into this type of field, just make sure you have the right team, with you. So, you have to do like he said, research, make sure that they trustworthy enough, because a lot of times you can't even, determine trust factor until they give you a reason not to trust them. So
Yeah,
once you
and
yeah.
that's not even trust factor. Honestly, the biggest thing you want to have is you just want to have a lawyer. Have a lawyer 100%
Mm,
at any deal
gotta
you make.
trust them too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's in your best interest, and then just basically that'll be your best chance. That'd be your best thing. Is having someone that's going to back you and have your best interest in the deal. That's basically what it is, honestly.
And so during the time, like, I always want to know also, because in this industry, unfortunately, it's like, you know, you're up one minute, then you're down the next. And during your downtime, like, did you have regular jobs in between?
I don't,
To
I don't, really, I don't really have downtime.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm always working. I don't down. I don't. I think that I don't celebrate until I win. So I don't really have downtime. I'm literally on a road to riches. So my
Gotcha.
downtime is literally only with my children and my family, and then it's just film. It's like that's life. So I don't really have too much down. I don't work for anyone. I work for myself. I've been
But
like
what I'm
this.
saying, what I mean, Daddy Love, I mean, I'm talking about, I'm not talking about your work ethic as far as that goes, but I'm talking about financial wise. A lot of times it's not always just like you went to school, like during COVID, that was a time where it was very challenging to a lot of creatives. So,
Yeah. So like,
what is,
see if I'm saying, so like, for instance, like even that situation, like I didn't go get a 9 to 5. I figured it out. So I'm just like I said before, I'm not a person of taking orders. So it's really, how can I explain this word without saying what I'm trying to say as much as humble as possible, that I'm just going to just figure it out. I'm not really,
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
not trying to like knock anybody that's working 9 to 5s or nothing like that. I'm just going to be the person that's going to try to find an outlet any other way to figure out my own talent to make it make sense for me. So even at the COVID point, I kind of lucked up because my talent that I have with the cameras, and I kind of just basically figured it out in a different area. So I still was doing weddings, and I still was staying afloat because a lot of places, people couldn't go outside, and people were still getting married, people getting backyard weddings and whatever. So I still was still needed. So I was just lucked up in that situation, but I just try to find the best way to keep me afloat, and where I can still do what I want to do at any point in time. That if I wake up tomorrow and say I don't want to do shit tomorrow, that's how I want to live my life. I don't want to be at the like, oh, I got to
Yes.
clock in, I got to do this, and I don't really. It stresses me.
Yeah, and I love that for you, and I'm so and I commend you for that. Just to, and I think that I think a lot of people need to aspire to that, to understand that you're gonna get get as much of the grind that you can, so you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, or how you're going to be able to do this. You want to be able to work hard enough to where you have the flexibility to
Yeah,
do whatever it is, to have that work life balance. So let me, and that's kind of a segue as well. Like, as far as your work life balance, and you mentioned about you getting married, and now about that, I wanted to know, like, based off what you mentioned about when you were younger and how you were dating, you didn't think to settle down. So what made you know this person the one? Like, what made this person be the one to kind of get you get you together?
um, different female, different morals and things, that way she carry herself. So I figured, and we had children, and like I said, how I grew up, I always told myself that I'm not just having kids with anybody,
Mhm.
right? So I figured that if I'm gonna have children with someone, that's most likely gonna be a female, that's gonna be my wife, and the words that I'm gonna be with forever. You know what I mean? So I don't really see it to be like, oh, I'm just gonna have kids with her, and it's my baby mom, and I'm on to the next. Nah. So I always see whoever I'm having my children with is gonna be the person that I'm gonna be with also. So
And so now, how what are some of the things that you learn as a parent, when it's the time that you had your oldest is your daughter, or is your son is the oldest?
I
Wait.
got my oldest is my daughter. I have three daughters and one son.
Oh,
Son is the baby.
okay. Okay. So what did you learn with your oldest daughter, versus now as a parent, now after being as a husband and as a father? Like, what are some of the key things that you learned that you would do things differently?
Time. I try to balance that as much as possible, because time, like I said, I don't follow clocks as much, so time really never on my side. So I try to make sure I'm there with families, to try to make sure that I give my family much time also. So like having one child at the time is like easy to balance. Now I got four kids, so it's like everybody wants time and wants to do. So it's to balance that. Also in the same industry that I'm in, it's sometimes that I might be filming for 10, 15 days, or I might be out of state filming, whatever the case might be. So my time it is varies. So it's trying to balance that is the hardest thing.
So how do you balance it? I mean, I know it's challenging, but how do you balance it? Like, what are what are some of your techniques, or your approach towards that?
So basically I just try to like if I ain't doing nothing, I make sure all my time goes to my family. So that's really how I work it too. So like for instance, like now it's like I'm in pre-production of my new film. So I don't really need to do much like during the weekdays. So I make sure I have time to do stuff with certain things with my children, like to the park and whatever they want to do. Because I know it might be some times where I might be going for a couple of days also. So I try to just make sure that all my free time that I do have, to give it to them.
Okay, and I love that for you as well. Then I think it is wonderful to see family men. We don't see many of those nowadays, so I think that's wonderful. Yes. So now you mentioned about upcoming projects. Can you give us a little taste of that?
Yeah, so I'm working on a new movie. I'm creating it. So I kind of like that. Like Blood Ties was like my. I created a psychological thriller before. It was called The Past 3 Years, which is on Tubi. You can check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different. It's pretty dope. But Blood Ties was a psychological thriller also, and I kind of liked the feedback I got from it, and seeing that how you can create all these plot twists and have people like in a seat like, wow, I wasn't expecting this. So in my new movie now, I'm creating a horror psychological thriller.
Mm.
This one is going to be a little bit different because it's horror, like a scary type of movie, but it's going to have some type of message behind it, which is going to leave people like, wow, this is deep. So
Okay, okay. Looking forward to that. Look out for that. Please make sure that you follow Daddy Love on all platforms, Tubi, social media, and like I said, the links on this description box below this video. And so, let me ask you, who is like one of the and it could be anyone, um, who is it that you really would love to work with? As which actor and which actress? We got to just one for now. Which actor would you love to work with, or do in your career, and what actor would you like to work with? Your dream actor and dream actress.
I swear, I lie to you not. I really don't have one. I just want to work with whoever want to work for me, work with me. So it's not
Yeah.
really. I don't have like, oh, I want to work with this person. There's a lot of great actors out there, great directors and stuff like that.
Just humor me, Daddy Love. Just humor me. You know, if you had the, like, if you really, really like someone that you really, really, really would
Um,
love to work with.
Let me see. Who would I want to work with? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even tell you. I promise you, because it's like I love the art behind it, but I just don't really. I feel like the ones that's already there, that's great. I feel like it's not fair for the ones that's coming up. I'd rather work with people that's coming up more than
Yeah,
the people that's
gotcha.
already
So who
established.
are they? I mean, so who are some of the people that are coming up? Like, give me an idea.
Like person like Denzel Washington, of course, every director would love to direct a film that has him in it. If you, it depends on what type of acting, type of movies, what we're talking about. So these type of actors are definitely, well, like Ice Cube, for instance, is a good actor. Producer, writer, director. He's pretty dope. I like his the way he went about doing what he did. Kevin Hart, for instance. A lot of Martin, those people that I looked up to, like growing up watching their shows when I did watch TV. But I feel like it's so much great people now that popularity shadows, talent. So I feel like there's a lot of talent that people don't even get to show they worth yet because people want to use the great first.
Yeah, but who are some of, that's what I'm asking you. Who are some of the up and coming, like, as to your knowledge, who are some of those that we need to look out for?
I know there's a lot of them in Detroit. I rather
Yeah,
Detroit
yeah.
got good actors in Detroit. I mean, I see the guy that plays in like he plays in like a lot of, I think it's called McGraw Ave, the short guy. He's pretty good.
He's a short guy.
I can't. I'm telling you, I'm not really good with names like that. I see their faces and I'm like, oh, they good. I just watched the movie Nimitz. The guy that plays the black guy, that's one of the main characters. He's pretty good. I like him. So it's a lot of different actors that's out there that's really good. So
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we'll table that one because because I want a current minds want to know, but I do get it. Like, I think that you um want to give up and coming artists, the ones that are truly serious about their craft,
correct.
kind of give them opportunity in the platform. And I think artists like yourself, like I said, those independent artists, those who want someone to flourish from the ground up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to you on that one.